What's up, guys? What's up, guys? What's up? Welcome back to a new live stream with Boogie, man. First of all, I want to take a minute and thank you guys for your support. I want to thank you for everyone who's watching me, who likes my videos, who subscribed, who supports your boy. I really appreciate it. Right. So you can see the title, Women, Rich Women. Actually, I'm going to say all women. I know in the title I'll put rich women, but honestly, I believe all women don't like paying child support. They don't like when it's their turn to pay child support. They don't like when it's their turn to, uh, pay alimony, you know. Comment down below where you're watching from. I'm just gonna wait for a few people to come into the live stream, and then we're gonna get started. You see the title, you see the thumbnail. Women don't like to pay child support. Women don't like to pay alimony. Um, they don't like it. They like to receive it. Don't forget that part. They like to receive it, but they don't like to pay it. All right. So as you coming in, just do me a favor and like the video. All right. Do me a favor, like the video, support your boy as you're coming into the comment section. We have somebody in here. What's up, Tashon Sanders? Check. What does Tyson say? Tyshon. Okay, that's a Tyshon. Did I say your name right? I'm sorry if I didn't say it right, man. Tyshon Sanders says checking in off the road, I-90 West, leaving from Massachusetts, headed to to leaving from Massachusetts, headed to was that supposed to say Utah? Man, drive safe. Tyshon, I hope you're not the one driving. You can listen, but you don't have to type. But I really appreciate you. I want you to drive safe. Checking in, checking in off the road. All right. I hope keep your eyes straight. You can listen to the entertainment tonight. We're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna make sure I try to give you guys a good show. Because women don't want to pay child support, they don't want to pay alimony. In fact, to the extent that they are attacking men. You guys have seen some videos that I've reviewed. All right, he says, Tyshon, yes. Okay. Oh, voice typing. Okay, I see you, Tyshon. I see you using your AI assistant, using what's that called? Because I'm an Android boy, so you're using what's that iPhone BS called? Oh my god, shit. Uh, no, Alexa is Amazon. iPhone is hey Siri. Yeah, Siri be crazy sometimes. Yeah, Siri be crazy sometimes. I'm still an Android boy. I have an iPhone. Well, I used to, but I don't use it anymore. I had it like a couple of years ago, like maybe uh, coming to 4 years ago. But I'm Android boy all the way. But you never know. Maybe if I find a rich woman who wants to um to buy me an iPhone. Did you guys know that some women can reject you if you have green bubbles like me? So if you use an Android, some women can reject you. Some women, actually, I'm gonna say lots of women will judge you if they text you and you text back and you have green bubbles. Apparently, to some women, having an iPhone for a man is like some kind of status symbol or some BS like that. Like it's crazy dating out here. So in other words, once you get to know a woman, or maybe you met a woman, you guys exchange numbers, and then you get to text her, hey Sarah, I saw you like 2 days ago at the mall, and then she finds out you have an iPhone, she will reject you. Women have literally said a man having an Android phone is a red flag. Women have literally said if it may, because they can't FaceTime you, because iPhone and Android, they really can't FaceTime and you unless you use apps like WhatsApp for video calling and other things like that. But apparently, to some women, a man having an Android phone, I don't care if it's the latest Samsung, it's like $1,000, and it's even more expensive than her iPhone. For some women, having an Android phone is a red flag. So, so even if she does, so let's say she meets a guy. Let's say she claims she wants a rich guy. Let's say she meets a guy who owns like 5 companies. Let's say she meets Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and then they switch numbers, and then Jeff Bezos gives her a text. She won't even care to find out if how rich the person is. She won't care how tall you are. She won't care, what type of good guy you are. She won't care how kind you are. The fact that you have an Android phone, some women are going to reject you. I know, guys, it's crazy. I know it doesn't make sense to a man. That doesn't. It makes zero sense. But to women out here, a man having an Android phone is a red flag. And it's like, you can read my text. Do you want to call me? You can call me. Okay, we can't FaceTime, but if you really want a video call, there are apps like, that's why they have apps like WhatsApp and other video calling apps. But to women, that's a red flag. So tell me why a woman like that won't die single. And it's not a minority, it's a majority of women who literally believe that a man having an Android phone is a red flag. They think because they have an Android phone, you're broke. It's the same thing like how women these days are talking about. Have you guys met women and the first thing they ask you is, do you travel? Women these days also believe if a man doesn't travel, if he doesn't own a passport, he's broke. It doesn't matter how much money you have in your bank account. It doesn't matter, because for them it translates to, if he doesn't have a passport, he can't travel, he doesn't have enough money to pay for my travel trips. Because remember, when you get into a relationship with a woman who loves to travel 3 to 4 times a week, rather a year, to post on Instagram, because remember, they do all this for attention, right? They want to travel to tell their friends they went to Cancun, they went to Brazil, they went to Belize and all these other places because they want to put on Instagram. But if you're the type of guy who doesn't travel, to her, she's thinking, okay, if we get into a relationship with this guy, he's not going to be able to pay for my travel trips. Because remember, she's not asking, do you travel because she's going to pay for your trips when both of you go out? No, she's asking you, do you travel to find out if you're going to be the kind of man who's going to be able to pay for the travel trips. Because I can guarantee you, when you guys get into a relationship, she's not trying to pay her half and then you also pay your half. No, she's going to say, baby, let's go on vacation. They call it vacation. And remember, she's going to be doing all the photos for Instagram. She's hoping you're the kind of guy who likes to travel and willing to spend money. Because if she has been spending her own money, whether she uses credit card, whether she has the money to pay for the trips, she's hoping when she gets into a relationship with you, you are going to be the one paying for your trips. And remember, an average trip costs a minimum of $3,000. I don't care if you're just going across Mexico and you live in California or Texas. If you're really going to the best places in Mexico, you're going to the best hotels in Mexico, you're doing the best things, eating the best food, paying for all the different tours and travel kind of plans, and you're going to stay for a week or two, it could cost you anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000. Now, do that for 2 people. And remember, they want to do travels for at least 3 times a year. So that's why. So don't be shocked if you meet a woman and she's like, oh, you have an Android phone, that's a red flag. She thinks you're broke. That she thinks, some women literally believe iPhone is the only phone in the world. And then if you can't travel, they believe that's major red flag, you're broke. Because again, it's for attention. So I guess that's a good way to get into the show. All right, Tyson, I see. Yeah, Tyson, you're right. Superficial as F. I'm telling you. You know, Tyson says it's because they can't hack it with all that the stupid extra traps that Apple has. Yeah, they have those because you Apple guys have like those tags, Apple tags, and she can literally leave her tag in your car and try to track you down and try to track where you're gonna be. try to see if you're cheating or things like that. Leave her Apple tag in your house. Like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want that kind of drama. So you guys gotta watch out. All right, so all right, I have a few people in the chat, so let's get started. You guys already see the title. Women don't want to pay child support. Women don't want to pay alimony. So there's this fighter. Um, it's the fighter. It's she's a fighter. I think MMA or something like that, kickboxing. Um, and she broke up with her husband, but now the courts forced her to pay child support. I think maybe alimony. I'm not sure, but she was crazy, crying and complaining. Oh my God, now I gotta fight to pay my child support. I gotta fight to pay this guy money. Women don't like it when they have to pay to be the ones to pay child support and alimony. So we're gonna watch her clip. I'm gonna set up the clip right here, and then we're gonna get into it. Don't forget to like the video. If you want to support your boy, you know what to do. You can drop the super chat in the comments down below, or if you want to send me a cash app, feel free. But most importantly, I would really appreciate if you like the video. If you can't put a cash app or send a super chat down in the comments, just like the video, that would be enough. All right, so we're gonna get into it. All right, women hate men getting child support and alimony. All right, so let me set it up right here. All right.
The state of California is expecting you to fund him not having a job.
Yes, because I have to provide the lifestyle. I have to maintain the lifestyle at my house, at his house. That's my obligation, I guess, which is crazy to me. So crazy, because I'm like, well, I want to stay more time with her too,
Right.
They say technically if I want to and I don't want to work, I don't have to work. We can both just not work and then we'll just give her that type of life, I guess, lifestyle.
So the alternative is basically, if you don't want to have to pay for his lawyers, for him to maintain the lifestyle you had when you guys were together, because you make more money than him, the court expects you to provide your same lifestyle and he doesn't have to have a job. Or the alternative is, okay, you just don't work, he doesn't work, and then you guys just live with whatever's left.
Yeah.
Comment that you made, one of your fights, you were like, this fight is literally still paying for my separation and my divorce.
Yeah.
Is that something that you still feel like you're still having to commit so much money to that financial burden and to support him?
Yes, 100%. It's something that, like, living in California, it's a state that it's like, it blows my mind. It blows my mind how basically I go to court almost every year because he comes with this, whole map of how my career will be, like, oh, that she's going to win the belt here in a couple of years and then she's going to make this money. And it's just like, it's crazy to me how people can just be money orientated about other people's money.
He goes in there and like projects your earnings.
Yes. Yeah. Well, him and his lawyers, right? Yeah. Like, okay, so she'll probably win the belt in 2 years or 1 year. And then people who win the belt, they make about this much money. I don't work. I'm like trying to work and provide this life for my daughter and like being a mom and taking care of her and doing all this thing. And then I still have to pay him and I have to pay his lawyers to fight against me. And so I'm like paying his lawyer's fees to get my money and I'm paying my lawyer and then I'm paying him just to be like a dad. You know what I mean? Just like we have 50-50. So like he has half the time, I have half the time and I pay for like health insurance and all that extra stuff because I'm.
Yeah. Ladies, welcome to the party of equality. You guys wanted equality so bad, but then when you get equality slapping you in the face, you don't like it. I can guarantee you this woman probably back in the day before she got married and, divorced and had a baby was supporting her own girlfriends who were collecting child support and alimony from their ex-husbands. But now that she's the one who has to work and pay child support and alimony, she's complaining. Did you guys actually know that Kim Kardashian has more money than Kanye West? Kim Kardashian is a billionaire, but Kanye West pays Kim Kardashian $200,000 a month for the kids. I'm going to say that again. Kim Kardashian is a billionaire. She makes more money than ex-husband Kanye West, or Ye, whatever he calls himself. Kanye West still pays Kim Kardashian $200,000 a month for child support. and she doesn't even need the money. You feel me? Even when a woman was making more money, right? The man was forced to pay child support. But now men are waking up. Men are like, Men are literally going for rich women specifically, because men are thinking about it like, okay, women want us to make all this money. Why would I make all that money that's going to take me 10, 15 years when I can just find a rich woman, sell a dream, marry her, divorce, get child support, and get alimony? Women don't like it when the rabbit has the gun, man. Men are turning up. Like, men are tired of being used. But when it's time for equality, the ladies don't like it. Ladies, the time is up, man. Man, but here's the thing, right? So this woman would never get married again, at least not to a man who makes less than her, right? And then the next time, she's definitely going to sign a prenup. Because usually guys can get married, divorced, the first wife takes half, and the guy will still marry again, because men are really suckers for love for some reason. They don't learn. The guy will get married again, still no prenup, and still get divorced and gets taken for half. And this can keep happening and happening and happening a couple of times. But when a woman gets married and then a man gets to take half of her shit, and the second time, I can guarantee you, two things are going to happen. The next time she wants to get married, she's going to find a man who makes way more money than her. If not, the next time she gets married, she's going to sign a prenup or not even have kids anymore. Let's watch this again. This was fun. Just listening to her complaining.
The state of California is expecting you to fund him not having a job.
Yes, because I have to provide the lifestyle. I have to maintain the lifestyle at my house, at his house. That's my obligation, I guess, which is crazy to me. So crazy, because I'm like, well, I want to stay more time with her too,
Right.
They say technically if I want to and I don't want to work, I don't have to work. We can both just not work, and then we'll just give her that type of life, I guess, like.
I don't think that happens. I don't think that works for men. If a man starts paying child support, let's say the judge sets child support to $1,000 a month, and then the man voluntarily decides to get a job that pays less so that the judge can lower his child support, the judge doesn't allow it. Did you guys know that? If they tell you to pay a woman child support, let's say $1,000 or $500, some guys think, instead of paying too much, I'm just going to get a job that pays me less. Because remember, child support is usually depending on how much money a man makes. But if you think you're going to lose your job, you're going to, make sure you find a job that pays you less so you can pay less. The judge doesn't change it. Because if the judge finds out that you purposely got a lower paying job so you can pay less child support, the judge doesn't change it. He could even send you to prison. So to jail. So I don't think this will work. Now, for women, it could work, but I don't think it's going to work for her.
So the alternative is basically, if you don't want to have to pay for his lawyers, for him to maintain the lifestyle you had when you guys were together, because you make more money than him, the court expects you to provide your same lifestyle and he doesn't have to have a job. Or the alternative is, okay, you just don't work, he doesn't work, and then you guys just live with whatever's left.
Yeah.
Comment that you made, one of your fights, you were like, this fight is literally still paying for my separation and my divorce.
Yeah.
Is that something that you still feel like you're still having to commit so much money to that financial burden and to support him?
Yes, 100%. It's something that, like, living in California, it's a state that it's like, it blows my mind. It blows my mind how basically I go to court almost every year because he comes with this, whole map of how my career will be, like, oh, that she's going to win the belt here in a couple of years and then she's going to make this money. And it's just like, it's crazy to me how people can just be money orientated about other people's money. You know what I mean?
Goes in there.
Women have been doing that for decades. Lady, wake up. You have been doing that for decades. You find out how much the guy has in a retirement, how much the guy has in stocks, how many companies he has. You even make sure if a man has any companies or any assets overseas, women try to find out every single asset a man has, present it to the judge to make sure they get a portion. Why is this show? Why Why are women shocked that men are now doing the same thing women have been doing? I'm surprised she's shocked. Like, where is she? This is 2025. Why is she acting like as if women have not been doing this for the entire time? This is crazy. Women literally will find, even if the guy bought a bike, like a bike, like whether a scooter, a bike, even if the guy owns a pair of brand new Nikes, the woman will present to the judge, my husband just bought new shoes last week. I want half of it. They will literally bring everything, present to the judge. In fact, sometimes they ask their lawyer, the lawyer they hired to fight the husband. The husband has to pay for the lawyer. It's the same thing Tyrese is going through right now. Tyrese's ex-wife is literally suing him. She wants him to go to jail because he has not paid her money for the lawyer she used to win child support from him. And this woman is complaining about everything women have been doing. That's crazy.
And like projects your earnings.
Yes. Yeah, well, him and his lawyers, right? Yeah, like, okay, so she'll probably win the belt in 2 years or 1 year, and then people who win the belt, they make about this much money. I don't work. I'm like trying to work and provide this life for my daughter and like being a mom and taking care of her and doing all this thing, and then I still have to pay him, and I have to pay his lawyers to fight against me, and so I'm like paying his lawyers fees to get my money, and then I'm paying my lawyer, and then I'm paying him just to be like a dad. You know what I mean? Just like we have 50-50. So like he has half the time, I have half the time, and I pay for like health insurance and all that extra stuff because I'm.
Welcome to equality, ladies. Welcome to equality. I'm telling you, 5-10 years from now, very few men are going to be choosing women who make less money than them. And this is why I believe most people are going to be single. Because if women are looking for men who make more money than them, but men are waking up and the men are saying, no, I'm not doing it. I'm also not looking for a broke woman. I want her to make the same or more. I think both genders are not going to get what they want. Eventually, both people are just going to be single. Because women don't like the fact that men are now searching for women who don't make money. I'm telling you, women don't like men who are using the same tactics women have been using on men for years. Because women's game plan has always been, at least for most women, find a rich man, marry him for 5 to 10 years, have some kids with him, divorce him, take his house, take the kids, get child support, get alimony, retirement plan, finished. The men, it happens for so many years, so many other men saw other men being destroyed like that. And then the men are saying, finally, some men are saying, you know what? This is not worth it. Right? So now a few men have started doing this. They're getting child support, they're getting alimony, and women don't like it. But more and more men are catching on, right? More and more men are catching on, and they're starting to do this. And women don't like that men are using the same game plan women have been using for 50, 60, 70 years. And then another thing, you guys saw that football player, the soccer player, Hakimi. Another thing men are doing is putting their assets in their family members' names. So that when there's a divorce, when a woman goes to court, the judge will be like, your husband is broke. He has no money. All his assets are in his mother's name. That's another thing men are doing. What do you guys think about that? Let's see what chatting man is saying. Chatting man says the difference is women don't believe in equality unless it directly benefits them. So that means that's not equality. That's control. That's the love for control. It's not even equality at that point. If you only want equality that benefits you, that means you just want control and power. That means that's manipulation. That means you just want to use people. That's not equality. They don't like it. And I'm telling you, the more men get alimony, get child support, the more men do it, I think eventually women will decide to change the marriage laws. Women would decide to change the child custody laws and things like that. It has to happen to more women for women to decide to change the laws. Other than that, um, it's still tough out here. What do you guys think about that? Don't forget to like the video, man. Welcome back to another stream. All right, next we're gonna go to all the way. Let me change the banner right here. We're gonna go to a woman who says she hates nice guys. I've been telling you guys, we've seen this so many times, but um women are now they're not scared of talking about it and saying how they hate nice guys. You know, they're not scared of telling the whole world. So let me uh, put this on the screen, and then we're gonna get started. Hold on. Nope.
I'm not comfortable. In fact, I've like tried really hard to be attracted to men who like treat me well.
It's boring.
It's not only boring, but it makes me feel uncomfortable.
So, okay.
Well, I recommend two things: therapy and Jesus. Because what are you even talking about right now?
One more time.
I'm not comfortable. In fact, I've like tried really hard to be attracted to men who like treat me well.
It's boring.
It's not only boring, but it makes me feel uncomfortable.
So, okay.
Well, I recommend two things: therapy and Jesus. Because what are you even talking about right now?
I don't even think therapy can help. I'm going to be honest. You know why I don't think therapy can help? Because women are always in therapy to the extent that if you meet a woman these days, one of the dating questions women ask men is, do you go to therapy? To them, they believe a good man is one who goes to therapy. And if you don't go to therapy, they believe there's something wrong with you. They believe every person should go to therapy, whether you have a reason or not. Because at the end of the day, I believe they use therapy. And in fact, some female therapists have talked about this. They use therapy to not hold each other accountable and they also use therapy because they need someone to listen to what they have to say and cry and make them feel good, even if there are no solutions. So I mean, this guy, I don't think therapy is going to help. So, sir, thank you for suggesting therapy, but they already do therapy. I can guarantee you that woman has been to probably 1,000 therapy sessions, but she still believes nice guys. She's not attracted to guys who treat her well. Now, she's a good-looking woman, and she's still a little bit younger. And I don't know, like, for how long she's gonna have that kind of mindset. If you look here, I think if I play it again, it's kind of dark, but you can tell she's a good-looking woman, right? So she's still younger, right? So I don't know how long she's gonna have the mindset of, I'm not attracted to good guys. Maybe after having a couple kids with the bad boys, and then when she's 45, then maybe she may want a guy who treats her well. This happens all the time. After they have the bad boys, and they claim the tide of their whole phase, or they don't call it the whole phase anymore. They call it, what do they call it? The fun phase. They call it doing me. I'm just doing me right now. That's what they call it. I'm just doing me right now. Are you dating? Nope. I'm just doing me right now. That's what they call it. Right. So maybe in 10, 15 years, she will be in 10, 15 years, she's going to want Greg to take care of the kids that she had from the bad boys. In 10, 15 years, she's going to want a nice guy like Greg O to come to come take care of the kids. And she's going to be so much a Christian lady, so much a God-fearing woman. You guys have noticed that these days, it's women 35 and older, for some reason, they all find God at that age. They say, oh, I'm looking for a man who believes in God. But when she was 25, nope, she didn't care for God. It's two things. It's a set of women who say, I'm spiritual, right? Zodiac signs and all those things. If not, they're going to be looking for a man who believes in God. And then Amore is asking, you guys have seen my videos. And Amore is asking, they all want a man of God. Oh, I'm looking for a man who believes in God, who goes to church, who prays. You know, you go to a date with a girl, and then she's gonna be asking you, do you believe in God? Do you read the Bible? Do you pray? Do you go to church? And then I'm thinking, if you are really a woman of God, if you really, God is the priority in your life, why don't they ever choose men in church? I'm telling you, I've been asking myself this question. So they go to church every Sunday. Some of them even do worship and praise. Some of them do Bible studies. Apparently, we know 99% chance it doesn't happen. They say it just for attention. So if they believe in God so much, how come the men in church, they never choose those guys? Let me guess. Those guys are too nerdy. They, in fact, they give them those church hags. Those, they call them, what do they call them? They call them my brother in Christ. They give them those side hags. They never choose the guys in church. They leave the church to come to the streets to find a man of God. And it's like, you go to church every Sunday. Surely there should be a good guy in church. Surely there should be a single guy. Surely. Now, I know these days churches are full of women, 90% women, 90% single moms. And the few men who go to church are usually dragged there by their own women, either married guys, husbands who are dragged there by their wives, or relationships. They find a guy in the streets and they try to turn him into a church going guy. So those are some of the guys who are in church. Right. But I'm like, if you really believe in God, you should really choose someone in church, because that's someone who's going to encourage you if you backslide. They encourage you, baby, let's go back to church. Let's go pray about our issues. Right. And then even when they have their own issues in relationships, they don't run to the pastor. They run to their single friends to help them solve the issues in their relationships. And here's another thing. Majority of their friends are never type of friends who go to church. They're the type of friends who like to hang out and go to brunch and go to Chris Brown concerts. So ladies, I'm asking, like, why don't you guys ever find men in church? I know there could be like 4 or 5 guys in church, but surely he's 5'6", okay, but he's a man of God. I mean, God is the priority, right? Are you saying you don't want the guy in church because he's not 6'5", because he doesn't make 6 figures? So how important is God to you? Ladies, I'm just asking. I mean, all right, what does chatting in say? What's up, Greg, man? Salute. Thanks for being in the chat. Chatting man says the men in church are gay, or the preachers who are smashing everyone. Yeah, they be smashing the preachers on the law, because the preachers be having the money, man. With all the collections they get, the preachers be having the money. You could find some of the single moms who go to church, the kids belong to the preacher. So for you guys who go to church, you want to do some DNA tests for your women. If your woman is always in the church and she can't stop talking about the pastor, my pastor this, because they like, sometimes they take the pastor's word more than they take the dad's word, more than they take the father's word. Like if they had an issue, they will run to their pastor faster than they run to their father, faster than they run to their brother. Every time they have issues, rather than even finding a solution, they're always talking about, I'm going to go to the pastor and the pastor will pray for me. And then when they have issues in the relationship, they want you to go see the pastor because the pastor will have their side. You're like, no, baby, I don't want to go to the church. He doesn't know me. No, he's a good pastor. He's going to pray for us. Yeah, that's because he has been clapping your cheeks. That's why you want us to go talk to him. Right? So if you guys have your women, if you have kids and your women are always in church and your women can't stop talking about your pastors, I'm telling you, man, you better do some DNA tests. Right? If you have a round head like me, right? But your kid has a box head, and that could be the pastor's head. I'm telling you, right? I'm telling you, you need to go do a DNA test if your woman is always in church and she can't stop talking about the pastor, right? And then you're gonna send your woman cash app, you're gonna send your woman some money, and guess the first thing she's gonna do on Sunday? She's gonna give all the money to the pastor. They call it tithe, right? So if you have a woman who's constantly asking you for money at the end of every single month, trust me, that's the 10% she's trying to give to a pastor. And if she does those overnights, and they have those, sometimes they have those overnights where they go to church all nights praying and things like that. I'm telling, because they're still human at the end of the day. Yeah, they're in church, but if the pastor is the one with all the money, and for some reason the pastors are like the tall kind of guys, and they have like that confidence because I guess they're public speakers, so it comes with time. So you better watch out, I'm telling you. All right, Greg says that's why dudes are avoiding church. The single moms are finding the church, and the pastors are trying to set up dudes with red flags. Yeah, that's true. And they even actually, the pastors attack you. The pastors are going to attack the guys in church, trying to convince you to marry the single moms. And if you don't, they're going to be talking all kinds of shit. And that's why some guys don't want to go to church anymore, because the churches are full of male feminist pastors. Like everything they talk about, they never hold the ladies accountable, which I understand. It's a business. If they held all the single moms accountable, if they told all the women to get average guys and stop looking for guys who make six figures, if they told all the women who go to church to find guys who are 5'7" and not who are 6'5", the women wouldn't come back to church, and which means the pastors wouldn't make money. So I definitely understand why pastors don't hold women accountable. It's a business. It's a good business. It's almost like Derek. You guys know Derek Jackson? I believe Derek Jackson could make a church and women would go. Even if he was caught cheating on his wife, he was caught clapping chicks with multiple women. It doesn't matter. If Derek Jackson made a church, that could be a good business idea. Maybe one day, if I ever meet him, I'll pitch him the idea. But if he really wanted to make money, he could make a church. He would be rich. Right? All right. Next, we're going to be talking about, let me take that off. Women talking about how they're not looking for love. You guys, do we have any suckers for love guys in the chat? Greg, what? Greg is like the Church of Boogie. No, I won't be the preacher. I won't be the preacher. I would need like a tall, muscular. I would need like a tall, 6'5" kind of guy, broad shoulders, like a Derek Jackson, that women find attractive, to be the preacher, to catch that eye. I'll be the guy behind. I'll be like the coordinator of different, events and things like that, to bring in more. We'll be throwing like branch Sundays, because women like that sort of stuff. And then I'll be the kind of guy to let in all types of women. I don't care how they're dressed. I'll make sure no one ever criticizes the women. I'll make sure all we do is preach. And if we're preaching, we have to hold the guys accountable, leave the women alone. Like, I'll make sure no one ever says anything to piss off the women, because remember, they're our money makers. So that I'll be in the backside. I'll be the one, running the show from the back. But I would need like those tall. That's a good business idea. I'm telling you, you would make a killing. Like a type of church that invites all the women, all the OnlyFans girls, the single moms. I don't care how you dress. God got you. Just come here. And then I'll even put in like a few traps. For example, I would have days. I would do like things of trying to take care of their kids, like a few scholarships for the single moms here and there. You feel me? I'll do a few like scholarships for the single moms here and there, just to keep them coming. Because I know, for as long as they keep coming every Sunday, because pastors are rich through that. Pastors are not rich because men give so much money in the church. Pastors are rich because women give so much money. It's the truth. Chatting man says, so your basic church. Yeah. Greg, yeah, tax exempt. Good business idea. I'm telling you guys, we could pull this off, but we need like a Derek Jackson. We need like a guy who's well spoken, like a tall, muscular guy. All he has to do is come look good, hold men accountable, sell the dream of motivation and Jesus got you kind of message to the ladies, look good. And also, but also that guy has to be able to clap cheeks. Because when a pastor looks good, some women are going to throw themselves at him. They're going to come for confession times. Most of those confession times, appointments are cheek clapping appointments, if we're going to be honest. Like when a pastor sets up a confession or prayer kind of event and appointment with the women, he's clapping cheeks. I'm telling you. So the guy has to be okay with clapping cheeks. If he's gonna be the kind of guy who does, because it doesn't mean that all the women are gonna be good looking. They're gonna throw themselves at the guy. He has to be the kind of guy who's willing to clap cheeks. That's it. All right. So, all right. Let me go to the next clip. Next clip is a woman talking about how she likes money, and the guy didn't like that women like money these days. So give me 1 second.
You get older, and honestly, when I was younger, I didn't care about the money. I'm like, I don't care how much a man makes as long as he makes me happy. When you get older and you realize what money really does for a relationship, what money does to like keep you alive, yes, it is important.
The problem is people not loving each other no more. People loving lifestyles. So it's like, I want to love the man that can give me a lifestyle, or I want to love the woman that makes me look like I'm the man that got the lifestyle. That's what it is. It's the idea of people thinking about how the relationship can change their life instead of just saying like, I just love you.
If you looked at 8 at the table in 2020, I sounded just like you. No, I'm so serious. I sounded just like you. But the thing is, we do see that kind of love. It's on TV.
Facts. That kind of love is on TV. And for some reason, and shout out to CGA, if you guys know CGA literally said, men are in love, women are in business. It's the truth. Like even a woman who doesn't want like a very expensive dinner date on the first dinner date, or is not asking for you to take her to an expensive restaurant, trust me, even the women who claim, they don't want you for your money, they don't necessarily want a rich guy, even those women, they care about the love. Yeah, she likes you. She likes that you're tall and you're a smooth talker. She likes all those things, but I can guarantee you, they like money too. Especially when you guys get serious, long term, they like money too. Like when the rent is due, I don't care how many times she told you she doesn't like you for your money, but if the rent is due, she lost her job, you the man, you have to pay the rent. And if you really, and some people have said this before, have you guys heard about this? That if you really want to see how much your woman cares about you and how much she cares about the money, one day get off work. So apparently take 2 weeks off from work, go home. So you took a 2 weeks vacation from work, but don't tell her you took a 2 weeks vacation from work. No, just go tell her you lost your job. Right. And then don't put any effort into looking for a new job. And I'm assuming you were paying at least for 50, anywhere from 50 to maybe even 100% of the bills. Now try to see how her mood changes. When she finds out you lost your job, you really didn't, it's just vacation, but she doesn't know that. So she's going to think you lost your job, you're not trying to get a new job, and then you're really going to see. A good woman will hold you down, even if for 3 months, even if for 6 months. Okay, my boyfriend, my man, lost his job. He's trying to look for a job. But I'm telling you, even after the first week, and if you tell her, baby, I don't have the money for rent this month, I lost my job, she may pay for the first month. But when it comes to the second time, you're still not getting a new job. I'm telling you, then only then will you find out how much money matters to women. So if you really think your true love doesn't want you for the money, try. I dare you. Try to do that. Try to get off work. Take some 2 weeks vacation from work. Don't tell her you did take a vacation. Go home, pretend you lost your job, and pretend you're not looking for a new job, and ask her to pay rent for the next 3 months. Let's see how much she likes you. I'm telling you, if she rejected me in the past, she's gonna text me. She's gonna be like, "Hey Boogie, it's complicated between me and my man. What are you up to? Can we hang out?" She's gonna be texting me in those 3 months. I can guarantee you.
You get older, and honestly, when I was younger, I didn't care about the money. I'm like, I don't care how much a man makes as long as he makes me happy. When you get older and you realize what money really does for a relationship, what money does to like keep you alive, yes, it is important.
The problem is people not loving each other no more. People loving lifestyles. So it's like, I want to love the man that can give me a lifestyle, or I want to love the woman that makes me look like I'm the man that got the lifestyle. That's what it is. It's the idea of people thinking about how the relationship can change their life instead of just saying like, I just love you.
If you looked at 8 at the table in what, 2020, I sounded just like you. No, I'm so serious. I sounded just like you. But the thing is, we do see that kind of love. It's on TV.
Yeah, it's on TV. She's definitely right. And men are stuck in the Disney fantasy fairy tale. For some reason, every man is looking for the love of his life, for the type of love he has been watching on TV. And you guys don't understand the power, the strength there is in movies. That's why when we're watching movies as kids, we all wanted to be Superman. We all wanted to be Batman. Like it made us feel like we want to be like our heroes, right? Now, some of you guys probably wanted to be the villains, but my point is that's the strength of TV. So imagine growing up being bombarded with the love of your life, with the woman of your dreams, with the idea of your soulmate, only to grow up for women to tell you you're 5'7", you're too short, for women to tell you don't make 6 figures, you're broke, for women to tell you if you have an Android, you're red flag. So I think what happens is, because as men, we are fed the Disney fantasy since we're little kids. Once we grow up, we fight tooth and nail to hold on to the hope. I'm going to hope and hold on to the hope that I'm going to find the woman of my dreams, that I'm going to find the woman who likes me for me. I think that's something men struggle with. I'm telling you, man, like it's a struggle because you've been taught how to treat a woman. You've been told that flowers will get you the type of woman you want. You've been told if she says no, keep trying and trying and trying. Like we have been told, we've seen in movies, like the woman rejects the guy keeps trying, and then at the end of the movie, he wins the woman over, like The Notebook and all these Titanics of this world and things like that. Right? So imagine from the time, let's say you're like 6-7 years old, you're watching a movie, you start to comprehend what you're watching. By the time you're 25, you really believe in the Disney fantasy and movies. But women have already switched. I think that's why women claim they mature faster than boys, because for some reason women switch. They probably switch anywhere from middle school, early high school times. They switch from I just want a guy who loves me to I want a guy who's going to catch the attention of everyone to I want a guy who makes the money and is going to buy me all these things. Because in the movies, they show that the man is doing everything a woman says. In the movies, they show that the man is buying and spending his last dollar to impress the woman. So women grow up thinking, oh, watching that the women in the movies are impressed by men. And then the men grow up watching that the man should impress the woman. He should do everything the woman says. You feel me? So men just fight and fight, trying to believe that there is love, and it's crazy. What do you guys think about that? Oh man, I gotta show some support to Chatting Man for the $2 super chat, man. Thank you. I really appreciate you, man. And then he says that depends if you're Pookie or not. The young lady is proving that point. When she was younger, Pookie is blowing her back out. Yeah, when she was younger, that happened. The Pookies blow the back out. But honestly, even when they're younger, if they could, they would get the rich Pookie. So they will get like the Futures. That's why Future has like 1,000 baby mamas. And the reason Future has 1,000 baby mamas because he's got the money. If he didn't have the money, he would have like maybe 3, right? But the reason he has the Ciaras and all the other women as his baby mamas because Future is the type of Pookie who has the money. So the women who want the Pookies, they wish all the Pookies would have the money. But usually Pookies, if they have money, it's fast money. So it's illegal money, drug money or whatever they do in the streets. And number 2, usually Pookies are either going to go to jail or they're going to go to prison. Or eventually Pookies don't have the type of stability that women can hold on to. That's why they will have kids with the Pookies. And then 10, 15 years later, they're going to come to Chatting Man to be like, oh, I love you, Chatting Man. And if Chatting Man is the kind of man who has been, who's still hoping for love, and he hasn't learned that there's no such thing as she's going to love you for you, Chatting Man is going to take care of the kids. And those kids are going to probably be Boogie's kids. So Chatting Man is going to take care of my kids, and I'm going to be out here still in the streets making more kids. I mean, I'm assuming in another lifetime, if I was a Pookie, that's what would happen. Some of you guys would be ready to raise some of my kids. You feel me? So that's why I believe, like, if women could get a rich Pookie, but also is the kind of Pookie who wants to settle down, they would settle down with him. But the issue is most Pookies don't want to settle down. Most Pookies are not stable. They may have money today and then it's gone tomorrow. They may be alive today and then tomorrow they're going to be dead. So that's why most of them eventually have to give up on the Pookie and look for the stable guy. All right, so Chatting Man, thanks for the $2 super chat. So we have, let's go to the next clip. All right, hide that. We're going to go to a Kevin Samuels clip, and the women are still looking for the rich guy. All right. So hold on. No, wait. Alrighty, let's go.
I want a high value man, and that's what I'm looking for as a female. I feel, I'm building myself for that type of man.
Why do you want a high value man?
Because I deserve that.
You don't deserve anything.
Oh, okay.
Who are you?
Simone.
Simone deserves nothing.
Fact.
What makes you so special? Do you deserve access to somebody else's stuff?
Nothing really makes me special to deserve access to anybody's thing but my own.
Thank you. So you don't deserve a high value man. Nobody deserves anything. We earn.
Facts.
How are you going to earn a high value man?
By building myself to be a high value woman.
Were you raised with your mother and father?
Was I raised with my mother and father?
Mm-hmm. Were they married?
No, my dad was married. I had a stepmother, and my mom, I have a stepfather.
This is starting to go downhill, okay?
No,
Already.
Don't let it go downhill.
No. First up, check that. This is part of the reason why high value men, they care very much about how their women think, because they're a representation of them. You come in talking about what you deserve, and it really comes down to you. And as an only child, there's something called only child syndrome. And that's what's kind of showing through right here.
They all believe they deserve. I deserve this. I deserve a tall man. I deserve a rich man. I deserve a man who's going to accept my kids. I deserve a man who's going to take me on trips. I deserve a man who's going to let me do what I do. I deserve a man who's going to let me dress the way I want to dress. I deserve a man who's going to let me post sexy photos of myself on Instagram. I deserve a man who's going to tell me what to do. But I also need him to be strong. I also need him to be able to check me. I also need him to have good dick. But I also deserve a man who's going to cook for me. I also deserve a man who's not going to tell me to cook for him. I also deserve a man who's going to let me a modern woman, but also deserve a man who's traditional. Like, they deserve and deserve and deserve. Like, it's crazy to think that the late great Kevin Samuels passed away, almost coming, I think, for 4 years now, right? And everything he talked about then still happens to this day. And it's even worse. Why am I saying it's worse? Because now, when he died, women were asking for men who make six figures. Right now, women are saying a man who makes just $100,000 is not enough. So now you got to make like 200,000 plus. And then women are saying, if you're just 6 feet, you're short. You guys have seen all these videos. I've reacted to the videos like that, whether on Kendra G's show, whether on Pop the Balloon. Women are saying if a guy is 6 feet, he's short. Right? If he's 6 feet, he's short. Some woman on Kendra G's show literally said she will disrespect a man who makes less than $100,000. So that if you make 95,000, she's going to talk down on you and disrespect you. Crazy. I know it doesn't make sense to us. But 4 years later, everything Kevin Samuels talked about is even worse. So for me, I believe Kevin Samuels' message kind of helped men more than women. How? It helped men wake up to the reality. Because before Kevin Samuels, men didn't believe women had such crazy standards. Like, no one was really talking about, or at least talking to women, letting them tell us the crazy standards they have. So some guys were oblivious. Some guys didn't believe it. Some guys thought that average women are okay dating average men. The only reason an average woman would date an average guy or even have babies with him is because the high value rich guys don't want her, or she doesn't run into those kind of guys. So at some point she has to settle, like they claim, because these days they claim they don't want to settle. Even when she had kids with an average guy, even when she had kids with a pookie, they all claim, I don't want to settle. Now I know my worth. Isn't that crazy?
I want a high value man, and that's what I'm looking for as a female. Yeah. I feel, I'm building myself for that type of man.
Why do you want a high value man?
Because I deserve that.
You don't deserve anything.
Oh, okay.
Who are you?
Simone.
Simone deserves nothing. What makes you so special? Do you deserve access to somebody else's stuff?
Nothing really makes me special to deserve access to anybody's thing but my own.
Thank you. So you don't deserve a high value man. Nobody deserves anything. We earn. How are you going to earn a high value man?
By building myself to be a high value woman.
Were you raised with your mother and father?
Was I raised with my mother and father?
Mm-hmm. Were they married?
No, my dad was married. I had a stepmother, and my mom, I have a stepfather.
This is starting to go downhill, okay?
No,
Already.
Don't let it go downhill.
No. First off, check that. This is part of the reason why high value men, they care very much about how their women think, because they're a representation of them. You come in talking about what you deserve, and it really comes down to you. And as an only child, there's something called only child syndrome. And that's what's kind of showing through right here.
Imagine men walked around talking about they deserve a feminine woman. Imagine men walked around talking about they deserve a submissive 10 out of 10 kind of woman. Most men know, like, as a man, after some time, after dating and living life, you realize you only get what you pay for. You only get what you work for. But for some reason, the ladies are able to live in Delulu land, delusional land for so long, thinking they deserve this and that, which I kind of understand why they live like that. Because, like, this woman is not like bad looking. She's not like, obviously, she thinks she's a 10, but to me, she's just an average woman, right? I'm average too, ladies. Don't get offended, right? But even if, no matter how she looks, I can guarantee you, she probably gets more DMs than a guy who makes $1 million. And because she has been getting so much attention from men, she's going to think she deserves a certain kind of man. And then another thing is like, yes, she looks like an average woman, but she only needs to run into one rich guy, one high value man. She just needs to go on a date with one high value man. And from that time, she's going to think that's her standard. That's her level. So she's going to be stuck in that kind of mindset. I can guarantee you, this was when Kevin Samuels was alive. I can guarantee you, this same woman still has the same mindset in 2025. I can bet money on that. It's probably even higher, because we have seen women as they get older, for some reason, their standards just keep climbing. And you're like, mama, like, when are you going to come back to earth? They just claim I'm not going to settle. It's crazy. But RIP to the GOAT, man. RIP to Kevin Samuels. I think he really helped men. I'm going to be honest. Just waking men up, because most guys, I don't even know if most guys, but there's a huge chunk of men who didn't know how delusional women were, who didn't know that women actually had such crazy standards. But also, I think men didn't know that majority of women, because I can guarantee you 99% of women who called into Kevin Samuel's show were asking and saying they deserve the same kind of man, which now we know that majority of women want the rich guy, the tall guy, the cool guy, the guy with the money and willing to spend it. They all want that small percentage, right? But I think that's what Kevin Samuels did, was to expose women mindsets to men. So a few women learned from him, but I think majority just hated him, obviously celebrated his death as well. All right, what do you guys think about that? All right, I have another clip. This is a woman trying to hold other women accountable. And she's holding other women accountable. Where is it? Where is it? Women. Yeah, have you guys run into an issue where you date a woman, she likes you when you guys are dating, and then when you guys break up, she starts to say the worst things about you? It sure is funny to me. Like, a woman would date a guy and believe the guy is God's gift sent to her, but as soon as she breaks up with you, she says how your dick was small. You know, she talks about how you were broke. She talks about how she just gave you a chance. She talks about how you're the worst guy she ever met. But it's like, you were with me though. Like, if you knew all those things were bad about me, why did you give me a chance? Why did you let me clap cheeks? So this woman is going to be talking about how women do this all the time. And I've reacted to her clips before, and sure as holds women accountable. All right, so without further ado.
These men don't be lame when y'all are with them. These men don't be bad dads and horrible boyfriends and husbands, and he never bought me anything. I was the one paying all the bills. That's not what y'all be saying when y'all are in relationship with these men. But the moment that these men leave because they're tired of your mistreatment, they're tired of your poor character, your cheating, whatever it is that these women be doing to these men, the moment that these men leave, then y'all want to assassinate these men's character. Now all of a sudden he's little. Now all of a sudden he never treated you well. He was verbally abusive. He didn't pay no bills. Watching Remy Ma and Papoose go through this public divorce is really sad, because we thought they were the epitome of black love, right? But what's happening right now is what happens in a lot of relationships. Everything is great until you don't get your way. Everything is great until you think that the grass is greener on the other side. And then you get over there and you realize that grass was sod and it was fake. I think that's what's happening. I think Remy Ma thought that she was going to be able to have an amazing life wherever she had been canoodling at. And when she got over there and realized, this ain't what I thought it was, you tried to slide back over there to Papoose. And Papoose said, no, Ma, I'm happy. I done moved on. You had multiple chances. I'm done. And because she can't accept accountability for losing a good man, now she has to paint this man like he wasn't a good man. I believe Papoose. And when I hear a lot of women assassinate the character of the man that just a few months ago they were madly in love with, I fully believe that you did something and now you are regretting your decisions.
That's facts. You know, they claim how your dick was small, but it's like, how was my dick small, but you're with me for 3 years? So was it small then when you were calling my name every night? You know, it's funny when the relationship ends, they say the worst things about you. But it's like, if you knew all these things were so bad about me, why did you stay with me for so long? Clearly there was something good you liked about me. I don't know if it was my bald head. I don't care, but clearly there was something good about me. But for you to go on Instagram and social media, now you're talking about how I'm the worst guy. She's definitely right. And it's very rare to see women call out other women. Because I can guarantee you, I don't have the access to the comment section, but I can guarantee you other women attacked her. Because if there's one thing women don't like, is when other women expose them for their bad behavior. And they always do this. They always say the craziest things. And imagine now when you have kids. That's why you find out that some women, if you have kids with them, and then they break up with the guy and the guy moves on, they use the kids against the guy. That's why they say the worst of things against the guy to the kids. So the kids start to hate the dad, and the dad has no idea why. Until sometimes, they grow, they get older, they find out the mom was lying. She just didn't want the dad to see us, and then they can even use those things against you in a child support court or even in the custody battles. That's why some men don't want to fight to see their own kids, because like the mom has been poisoning the kids against the dad, so the guys just give up. But she's right. Women who say the worst things about a man, the same man they were praising a couple months ago to their girlfriends, now he's the worst man they ever met. Crazy. Right? Let's play one more time.
Tired of your mistreatment. They're tired of your poor character, your cheating, whatever it is that these women be doing to these men. The moment that these men leave, then y'all want to assassinate these men's character. Now all of a sudden now all of a sudden he never treated you well. He was verbally abusive. He didn't pay no bills. Watching Remy Ma and Papoose go through this public divorce is really sad, because we thought they were the epitome of black love, right? But what's happening right now is what happens in a lot of relationships. Everything is great until you don't get your way. Everything is great until you think that the grass is greener on the other side. And then you get over there and you realize that grass was sod and it was fake. I think that's what's happening. I think Remy Ma thought that she was going to be able to have an amazing life wherever she had been canoodling at. And when she got over there and realized, this ain't what I thought it was, you tried to slide back over there to Papoose. And Papoose said, no, Ma, I'm happy. I done moved on. You had multiple chances. I'm done. And because she can't.
I think years from now, Remy Ma is going to regret leaving Papoose. But I think if there's one thing men learn from the Remy Ma and Papoose story, is the fact that Papoose waited for Remy Ma to leave jail or prison for, after what was it, 6-8 years, and he was waiting on her. I don't think any man will ever do that, because women praise Papoose for being, a loyal man and a kind man and a loving man. He waited for his woman who was in prison. He held her down. There is no man who's gonna watch how Papu's life turned out and he's gonna want to do the same thing. Like, you'll be dumb. Because that shows you, like, it doesn't matter how much as a man you do everything that you want to do, a woman could literally leave you for a man who's half the kind of man you are. I think that's one thing men learn from the Papoose and Remy Ma story. Like, she will leave you anytime because of her feelings. Can you imagine? She claimed he was driving to see her in the prison every single day until she told him to stop. And then when she comes out of prison, she cheats on him and leaves him. Crazy. I think that's why you cannot use celebrity relationships as like use them as the role model for the good relationships, because some people like this power couple BS, especially on Instagram and social media, and it didn't work out. What do you guys think about that? All right, so next we're gonna go. This guy was talking about the worst prenup. You guys have probably watched this divorce lawyer. He's gonna explain the worst prenup, which for me, I believe is the type of prenup every man should make a woman sign. But I know that ladies are not gonna like that. But I want you guys to listen to this. This was a crazy prenup. Hold on. This was a crazy prenup the man made his wife sign.
The most shocking prenup I've ever seen, which was enforceable, had a provision that said that for every 10 pounds the wife gained in the marriage, she would lose $10,000 a month in alimony. He was very concerned that she was going to become less attractive and he was going to become more wealthy. So his solution to this was in the prenuptial agreement. He wanted a clause that said if they divorced, she was going to get like $70,000 a month for alimony. But for every 10 pounds she gained from the date of marriage, she would forfeit 10,000 a month worth of alimony. And it was designed to sort of create an incentive that she would remain thin. And that was...
I think she failed. Because either she was going to get, now we have Ozempic and things like that. But I think it was more about the fact that the guy didn't want to I think the guy said those terms because he knew she was going to fail. To make sure you don't gain 10 pounds. Yeah, I think she failed. But it's a great prenup. I think that kind of prenup, that's the kind of prenup every man should use. But I think it's the kind of prenup every woman would refuse to sign. They would like the money, the 70,000 a month. But once they look at the terms of not gaining weight, because women love food and they don't love to work out, I think most of them would bail out.
Was enforceable, meaning they tried to challenge and set aside that provision. And the court said, this is a disgusting provision. I don't know why you married this person, but it's enforceable. It's a contract. The two of you signed it and you had a right to sign it and you agreed to these rules, and they may be ridiculous rules, but you agreed to them. And you have a right to do that. I think it's a kind of love. I think it's a form of love. Is it a form of love I'd be interested in? No, I think it's very shallow in some ways. There's something very honest about it. I mean, you can't argue with the fact that there's something very upfront about it. He was making very clear and putting in writing, here's the value you bring to this relationship. I consider your physical appearance vitally important to this relationship. And by the way, don't skip the other side of that equation.
Yeah.
She was going to get $70,000 a month. That's a very impressive number. So I think she also understood there was a value to be attached to him as well. Is it something I would be interested in on either side of that equation? No.
I think that's a type of prenup every rich man should make women sign. Because I heard about Michael Jordan's prenup with his current wife. His prenup states that the money goes higher the longer she stays married to him. I don't like that kind of prenup, because she may stay with him for whatever number of years, and if she feels like, okay, now this is enough money, then she can leave him. But the one where she has to put in work to lose weight, I think that's a good prenup. Because if she's really about the money, which we know most women are going to be about the money, she's going to try to lose. She's going to try not to gain the weight every year. Can you imagine for, what was it, every 10 pounds a year? She was going to get less than 10,000. Oh my God. But $70,000 a month is lots of money. That's close to $1 million a year just in alimony, which means, she could literally just stay with him for 5 years, make sure she doesn't gain any weight, use any type of medication, use any type of drugs, and then make sure in 5 years she divorces him and then she gets 70,000 a year, a month, not even a year, $70,000 a month. That's a lot of money. I think that those are the kind of prenups men should start to use. Because I don't know why she signed it, like the divorce lawyer said. Like, I don't know why she signed that kind of prenup, because food is good and women love to eat. So if I was him, I would be taking out to eat every time. Because I'm not about to pay 70,000, but sounds like he was a millionaire, probably a billionaire. But if I was that kind of guy, I'm probably going to take my woman out to eat all the time to make sure she gains weight. I would make sure I don't go out to work out with her, so I don't motivate her to work out so she can gain weight. I would make sure I'm always buying her treats. I'm always buying her candy and chocolate and cakes and all those kind of things. I would make sure, I have plenty of wine in the house so she can gain weight. So that whenever she wants to divorce me, the money has really gone down. But that was a good prenup. What do you guys think about that? I believe every man should have that kind of prenup. Tough prenup. But I don't know if most women would sign it. I think most women would bail out. But for the love of money, women could probably sign it because they're thinking, oh my God, it's 70,000 a month. They would be thinking about the money, but they would not think about how hard it is to gain 10 pounds every year. You could literally gain 5 pounds in a week. Now imagine 10 pounds a year. That's tough to do. You literally have to be walking every day, working out, watching what you eat, because every year they're gonna, he's gonna weigh weigh you when you start the marriage and weigh you when you go into every single year. He's gonna weigh her to find out if she gained or she lost. But that's a great prenup. I think that's a prenup every man should have. What do you guys think about that? All right, next I have another video I want to play for you guys. Have you guys watched this Patrice O'Neal clip? You probably haven't watched it. The legend Patrice O'Neal. He was asking what women bring to men apart from sex. Right? So let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Let me ask you a question. Here's a question. Here's a good, serious question. Okay, ladies, if you didn't have a vagina, like say it was a terrible train accident, right? And the doctor was like, we have to remove your pussy right away or you're gonna die. How would you keep your man past, you get a 2-month guilty, I can't leave the bitch right away because you just lost a pussy in a train accident. Can't just walk right out on her. How would you keep your man past that if you didn't have a vagina?
They wouldn't. Let's be honest. They wouldn't be able to keep a man. 99% of women wouldn't be able to keep a man. without a vagina. I'm going to be honest. The same way 99% of men wouldn't be able to keep a woman without money, at least without some kind of provision, 99% of women wouldn't be able to keep a man. And I'm saying 99% because if the guy has ED, then I guess, or maybe some of them may give him the throat. I don't know, but 99% of women wouldn't be able to keep a man.
Wow. Nothing? You can talk. You can talk. Suck his dick. Okay. Mouth. Asshole. Okay, great. You see what I'm saying? Now, I've been getting pussy beaten the whole show, right? But I give women the opportunity to say, I'm going to make myself worth more. But you just classified yourself as a series of holes. But I'm supposed to treat you special, but you're just a bunch of holes to yourself. No one said learn how to play Xbox, learn how to play pool, tell better stories, get another bitch that got a pussy to come on in.
Ooh, that's a nice one. That's a good one.
Well, look, whatever.
That's a good one. That would be the best one. Like, if her pussy can't work, she can just get an extra woman for the man. That would be a good idea. I think most guys would. Honestly, most guys would be okay with that. Because I know very few guys would reject a threesome if the woman suggested it. That's why I believe some guys like to date bisexual women, because they know there's a chance the woman may bring a new woman into a relationship for a threesome. So that would be a good idea for women. Just go bring a new woman. Most guys would be down for that. But because women are very jealous and, very, very, what do you want to call it? They're scared the new woman may take the man and take his money, and then she's left to dry. They just don't bring the new woman. Because they think the man may like her pussy better, her sex better. So they just don't bring the new woman into the relationship. But I think that would be a good idea, honestly. But shout out to Patrice, man, the legend. All right, I got one more clip for you guys. And this woman is going to be talking about how pretty much the kind of advice that's out here these days. I don't know what you guys are going to think about this, but unfortunately, this is what's going out here these days. All right, give me a second. Where is it? All right, here we go.
I would recommend that same advice to my daughter. Be a hoe, live your life. Confidence is key, and regardless of what you do, there's like 7 billion people on this planet. So if not Toronto, there's another city for you, I promise.
Okay, would you recommend that same advice to your daughter?
For sure.
Yeah?
For sure.
You tell your daughter
Just
to be a hoe?
my mother recommended that same advice to me. I would recommend that same advice to my daughter. Be a hoe, live your life. Confidence is key, and regardless of what you do, there's like 7 billion people on this planet. So if not Toronto, there's another city for you, I promise.
Okay, would you recommend that same advice to your daughter?
For sure.
Yeah?
For sure.
You tell your daughter
Just
to be a hoe?
my mother recommended that same advice to me.
It's crazy out here, guys. And she's a good-looking woman. But I can imagine her friends think the same way. Right? Because some people like to say, oh, you got to choose better. There are good women out here. But what do her friends think? What type of mindset do the friends think? It's very hard these days to find one good woman who doesn't have a few bad friends or a few friends with bad mindsets. I'm telling you. So when I hear people talk about, oh, choose a good woman, do this. Yeah, but how are you going to investigate the type of friend she hangs out with? You may find she's a good woman, you get to know her, you go on dates, and then you get to like her only to find out her friends have this kind of mindset. So if the friends can't have this kind of mindset, are you supposed to leave her, then try another woman, and then you find out the friends have the, because very few, it's practically impossible to find a woman who's either not a feminist, half feminist, doesn't support feminist, or the friends are not feminist. And if she's a feminist, the chances are she's probably going to believe in the whole sexual liberation movement. I want to do my own thing. Or social media. Yeah, talk about it. Chatting man, talk about it. Social media too. On TikTok. Because the women give themselves this kind of advice on TikTok. Just by what she said, I can guarantee you right now, this woman could literally gain 100,000 followers of other women in just one day, just by exactly what she said. And she seems confident. This tells me it's not something she just learned. She literally said the mother taught her that kind of mindset, and she's planning to teach the daughters. So, which tells me even all the friends around her have the same kind of mindset, which also tells me the friends of the friends probably have the same kind of mindset. So, how can you tell a man in 2025 to hope for the best, to hope and believe in true love? Right? Because now, if you get married to this kind of woman, she's already planning what to teach that have her daughter. So that means your daughter, now you're going to be in a fight of what to teach your daughter. It's crazy.
I would recommend that same advice to my daughter. Be a hoe, live your life. Confidence is key, and regardless of what you do, there's like 7 billion people on this planet. So if not Toronto, there's another city for you, I promise.
Okay, would you recommend that same advice to your daughter?
For sure.
Yeah?
For sure.
You tell your daughter
Just
to be a hoe?
my mother recommended that same advice to me.
That's crazy. Her mother recommended that kind of advice to her. Like the mother recommended her to be out in the streets to get her cheeks clapped. And let me guess, she's hoping there will be a Prince Charming at the end of all this. Guys, we are cooked. If you don't believe in love anymore, if you're not out here looking for your queen and you're not looking to get married, maybe you're not cooked. But if you're if you're out here still believing in love and you can't wait to meet the love of your life and you can't wait to be a provider man, you can't wait to get married until death do you part, and you can't wait to walk down the aisle and can't find a good woman, good beautiful woman who didn't let Boogie clap her cheeks already, you are cooked. I'm gonna be honest. If in 2025 you are the type of man who's still hoping for love, looking for love, you are 1,000% cooked. Because like I said, sure, you may not meet this woman, but you may meet her friends. Sure, you may not meet her friends, but you may meet the friends of her friends, because they all think the same. You see how men become friends because, let's say, we both like football, we both like basketball. Like men will become friends because they both like guns, they like sports, the same kind of sports team, and men will become friends like that, right? Women literally become friends because they have a similar mindset, which means if a woman sees her friend doing some, weird shit on the side, she won't say anything. So if this is my woman and she's cheating and the friend sees her cheating on me, the friend wouldn't never tell me because they have a similar mindset. Right? So if this woman has a one-night stand, the friend would never tell her not to do that because the friend is the type who also can do that. And this woman cannot say anything to the friend because they share the same mindset. You see? So again, if you're out here looking for love, I'm telling you, you are cooked. You are finished. You are fried. Like you literally need prayers. Even the people who claim, oh, find a woman who has a good father and a woman who believes in God, she's going to go to church on Sunday after having her one night stand on Saturday night. What do you mean find a woman who goes to church? She's gonna go to church after getting a chick slapped on Saturday night. Right? So it doesn't matter that the woman goes to church. It doesn't matter that she believes in God. It doesn't. Right? It doesn't. Anyway, let me play this video.
All women will gaslight you. I wish someone would have told me this at a younger age, but I'm telling y'all, if you try to lead them, they will tell you, this is what they're gonna tell you. If you try to lead them, they will tell you you're controlling. You could tell a bitch to put on a seatbelt and she gonna be like, you ain't my daddy, who you talking to? You're gonna be like, bro, like, for real, I swear on everything. If you set boundaries, this is what they will tell you. They're gonna tell you you insecure. You say, hey, you dressed a little too provocative. Oh, you insecure. I should be able to wear what I want. Baby, you shouldn't stay out in the streets. It's 2 a.m. Oh, I'm a grown woman. I can do whatever I want. You too insecure for me. They gonna just swipe on to the next. All right, if you disagree with women, you sassy. As soon as you disagree with them and say something back, you a motherfucking sassy monster. This is what.
Oh, they're gonna say you're gay. They're gonna say you're gay. These days, any man who has a preference, any man who doesn't take a woman's BS, the first thing they call you is you are gay. In fact, if you ask them what you bring to the table, it's either they're gonna say I'm the table or they're gonna say you're sassy. Only because you have a preference. Only because you have a standard. Yet the whole time they've been telling men that men are too shallow, they need to raise their standards to go away from women who bring nothing to their lives. But as soon as a man has a standard, now you're gay. Yet they claim they have gay best friends, but they use the gay to like attack men as an insult. Like that also blows my mind. The same women who claim they have gay best friends, they use being gay as an insult to men that they don't like. Like that shit blows my mind. But I'm telling you, if you want a woman, the fastest way for a woman to call you sassy and gay is for you to show that you have any type of standards.
Next. All right, if you disagree with women, you sassy. As soon as you disagree with them and say something back, you a motherfucking sassy monster. This is what I'm telling y'all what it is. You a sassy monster. Now this is my favorite one right here. This is especially true with black women. If you just criticize how women behave or critique how women behave, this is especially true with black women.
Gay.
You're fucking gay.
Facts. And sometimes they will say you hate women. If you criticize them, hey, the way you're too loud, you're too aggressive, maybe stop wearing wigs. That wig doesn't look good on you, or lose some weight. If you say any of those things, they're going to call you gay or they're going to say you hate black women. I mean, a woman will have a list of things she expects the man to do for her. But as soon as a man says 2 or 3 things, I want a woman who's nice to me, who's not aggressive, who is in shape, they call you gay, they say you hate women. Like the double standards are crazy. The gaslighting is on 1,000. Have you guys experienced that? I'm telling you. If you are lucky, she may just, I don't know, I guess block you. Because if there's one thing black women don't like is a man who has standards. And the reason they hate a man who has standards because they know you're not going to let them get away with their BS. Because they're used to walking all over men. They're used to men worshiping the ground they walk on. So even if you're tall, like she wants you to be. Even if you have the money, like she wants you to have it. Even if you're generous, because just because you have the money doesn't mean you're going to spend it on her. But even if you're generous, if there's one thing a black woman doesn't like, is a man who has standards and has boundaries. She wants you to be tall. She wants you to have the money. She wants you to spend the money on her. But she wants you not to be able to say anything to her, because otherwise you're controlling. If you're telling her, baby, you're too loud, you're controlling. Baby, I don't like how you're dressed, you're controlling. Baby, make me a sandwich, I'm not a slave. Baby, let's go left. You're not my daddy. You're not the boss of me. But as soon as the boss tells them to make them a coffee, they run. Like they literally respect their bosses more than the men they sleep next to. It's crazy out here.
All women will gaslight you. I wish someone would have told me this at a younger age, but I'm telling y'all, if you try to lead them, they will tell you, this is what they're going to tell you. If you try to lead them, they will tell you you're controlling. You could tell a bitch to put on a seatbelt and she gonna be like, you ain't my daddy, who you talking to? You're gonna be like, bro, like, for real, I swear on everything. If you set boundaries, this is what they will tell you. They're gonna tell you you insecure. You say, hey, you dressed a little too provocative. Oh, you insecure, I should be able to wear what I want. Baby, you shouldn't stay out in the streets. It's 2 a.m. Oh, I'm a grown woman. I can do whatever I want. You too insecure for me. They gonna just swipe on to the next. All right, if you disagree with women, you sassy. As soon as you disagree with them and say something back, you a motherfucking sassy monster. This is what I'm telling y'all what it is. You a sassy monster. Now, this is my favorite one right here. This is especially true with black women. If you just criticize how women behave or critique how women behave, this is especially true with black women. You're fucking gay.
They will call you gay, but then they will claim they have gay best friends. I'm like, I mean, if you have gay best friends and you think I'm gay, I would think you would like me. Right? They will call you gay, but then they will say their best friends are gay. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, why are you insulting me with the same thing that you claim is your best friend? Like, that doesn't make sense. Only because you try to hold them accountable. Only because you called out their BS. They say men are shallow, but as soon as men have some kind of standards, any kind of preferences, like a woman will literally tell you, you're 5'7", you're too short for her. And then you will tell her, you're 250 pounds, you're too heavy for me. And she will scream. She will literally go crazy. How dare you? How dare you hate women? How dare you tell me I'm too big? Like, baby girl, you told me I'm too short. So you can tell me what you like, but I can't tell you what I like. And that's why they enjoy the T-app so much, because the men are not there to defend themselves. The men are not there to give feedback, because then they can talk between each other, make up any false, statements, false allegations, any false information about men in the T-app, because the men are not there to defend themselves. Right? And that's why when you see that Tinder is trying to put a height preference, Tinder could put a height preference for men. So for women to check out, or to put a preference. So I only want guys who are 6 feet. I only guys want who are 6'5". But Tinder is never going to put a preference for men to choose. I only want a woman who's below 150 pounds. Because if they do that, they know majority of women are never going to get any options. Because even a woman who's 250 pounds will never choose a man who's 250 pounds. She's going to choose a guy who's in shape. Crazy, I know. But a woman who's heavy is never going to be with a man who's heavy. She's going to want a guy who's in shape. It's the double standards. But I'm telling you, if you have standards, if you have the preferences, the best thing is probably not to tell women, because the moment you tell a woman your preferences, that's why when you see the pop the balloon, some guys hold back because they don't want to get canceled. They don't want to be called misogynist. They don't want to be called all sorts of names. So most guys on pop the balloon, when they ask them, why did you pop your balloon? Is she your type? Most guys will literally say, yeah, she's my type, even if she's not. Or he will say she's okay. Or he will say, she's not my type, but I like her dress. And then they'll like quickly switch to something else because they don't want to get canceled, because they know if they say exactly how they feel, then the women are going to get offended. So most guys don't say nothing, or they try to, they'll say she's not my type, but give a compliment at the same time. Or they will just say she's my type, just for the sake of it, just to avoid the backlash. But what do you guys think about that? All right. So guys, this was a good stream. I just wanted to come in with a quick stream for you guys for the week. I'll be dropping another stream tomorrow. So thank you for chatting, man, for that super chat. And thank you guys for liking the video and supporting my channel. Road to 10,000 subscribers. My goal is 10,000 subscribers before the end of 2025. I'm only 2,000 subscribers away. And I thank you guys for being on this journey with me. Trying to, one, be entertaining. Number two, speak about things men don't talk about. Because I know most guys go through this BS, but guys don't want to speak about it. Guys don't have like a, I guess a community where they can come and just share ideas. And very soon I'm going to be bringing you guys on the, if you guys want to call in and you want to have a conversation and just have a talk with me and just share different ideas and our stories with this dating BS and what you guys think, where you think it's going, I can do that. I'm open to that. Maybe not today, but I'm definitely, one of these days, I'm going to be able to do that. All right. So don't forget to like the channel, to like the video. I'm dropping content for you guys. So don't worry about the content. I'm on the grind in the back scene. So I'll be dropping videos tomorrow, the day after that. If you guys keep supporting me, I'll definitely be dropping videos. All right. So until then, it was a pleasure, guys. Thank you to Chatting Man again. I'm sure I'll see you in the chat soon. So until then, peace out.